Good evening, everybody. Welcome to Ptp After Dark. Dubek, what's up? Maddie's mom. I know who you are. I know who you are. Poon Slayer, what's going on? Vet and Moore, good to see you. Thank you for the prayers. Appreciate it. Who else we got? Helen Dixon. Hi, Helen. I saw Duppy up there. What's up, Duppy? Salty Nuts. We're not doing a panel show tonight. Sorry. Who else we got? That's it so far. Oops. So I hope everybody had a good Monday afternoon. I did. I had a good Monday afternoon. I had a nice lunch with Mrs. Ptp before she had to go back to work. She came from work, took me to my appointment, and then had lunch and went back to work. So, what's up, Intolerant Leftist? So, yeah, we had a good afternoon. And I hope everybody had the same. So just to let everybody know, tomorrow is Tuesday, if I'm not mistaken. Tomorrow's Tuesday, and I won't be doing a morning show. I don't know what today's date is, Salty, but I think you're probably closer to the 9th or the 10th. I think today's what, the 7th or something like that, the 8th? I don't know. True things prevail. What's up? Mikey Baseball. What's up, Jim Bob? Anyway, tomorrow's Tuesday, and it's the week that I start my cycle of treatment on Tuesday and Wednesday. But apparently I'm going to be getting a bunch of stuff done tomorrow, which I wasn't planning on. That may take a while. So I'm hoping that I'm going to be home in time for That's a Great Question podcast. If I don't think I am, I'll put a post in Build to let everybody know. And if there's no post, that means I'll be home in time to do the show. So keep that in mind for Tuesday. No morning show. And Wednesday, no morning show. So I just thought I'd let everybody know before I forgot. What's up, Mark? How you doing? Thank you. Band Mom. All right. So we don't have an overly long show this evening. I have a couple of things that I want to talk about. Thank you, Mike Baseball. I'm trying my best. I am trying my best. The only thing that sucks right now is I can't get my primary doctor to return my damn phone call. I wanted to, that's what I was just talking about, Intolerant Leftist. I took the CAT scan, the CT scan, last week, and he posted the results in the computer of what the results are, but I don't know how to interpret that stuff. So I put a call in for him the next day, and he hasn't called me back. So yeah, I don't know what's going on with that. So hopefully I can get him to call me back, and we'll find out. And like I said, as soon as I find out, I'll let you guys know. Thank you, Helen. But I also took a scan on my lung, too, which I will find out, hopefully, the results tomorrow. So, we'll see what happens. Like I said, good or bad, I'll let everybody know. Okay, so the first thing we're going to talk about is I had a small little clip from Jesse Waters. No, I had a small clip. What's up, Mr. Spaz? I'm feeling good. Thank you. From Nancy Pelosi. But I found a Jesse Waters clip, actually the segment of him talking about it, which is even better. So we're going to play this, and you have to listen to Nancy Pelosi, because what she's saying here, it's absolutely outrageous. I mean, just, it's absurdly ridiculous.
Village. The Clintons, Obamas, Schumer, and the ringleader, Nancy Pelosi, all came together to kick Biden out. Pelosi was finally asked about it.
Please tell us what you told President Biden to persuade him to step aside.
Well, I've never shared any conversations with the President of the United States publicly, no.
It's said that he's furious at you. Is he?
Well, he knows that I love him very much.
I understand that you don't want to own this, but it is so well reported that you were the leader of a pressure campaign.
No, I wasn't a leader of any pressure party. Well, let me say things that I didn't do. I didn't call one person. I did not call one person. I could always say to him, I never called anybody. What I'm saying is I had confidence that the president would make the proper choice for our country, whatever that would be. And I said that.
So not for nothing, but if I'm not mistaken, Nancy Pelosi, what power does she hold in Congress? She's a representative for the city of San Francisco. She's not speaker. She's not anything anymore. Why would Joe Biden bow down to what she says? She doesn't hold any sway over him. She's simply a congresswoman that was the speaker. She is Speaker Emeritus. So I don't understand why he would take anything she says seriously.
That whatever that is, we'll go with.
Biden didn't make a choice. He was staring down the barrel of a gun. Pelosi and the Democrats went for what Biden cared about most, his legacy. They brandished the 25th Amendment, threatened to yank his presidential library, and deployed a coordinated media strike to tarnish his rep.
Hey, Vanita.
Biden knows the game and is never speaking to Nancy again.
Have you spoken to President Biden since he dropped out?
No, I have not.
Do you hope to?
Yes, I hope to.
Yeah.
We're all busy.
Is everything okay with your relationship?
You'd have to ask him.
You know how Washington works. They gave 10% to the big guy and showered him with flattery.
Such a consequential president of the United States, a Mount Rushmore kind of president of the United States.
I
want to know what comes next.
That he belongs up there on Mount Rushmore. Lincoln and Joe Biden.
But you got Teddy Roosevelt up there, and he's wonderful. I don't say take him down, but you can add Biden.
You can add Biden to Mount Rushmore. Seriously, she seriously said that in an interview with this old lady. I don't know who's more senile, Joe Biden or Nancy Pelosi. Whose brain is rotting more? Who's up there? Teddy Roosevelt, Abraham Lincoln, who the hell else is on Mount Rushmore? Was it Washington? The founding father of our country? And Joe Biden.
Leslie Stahl, who believes everything Democrats tell her. Laptop wasn't real. COVID was natural. Couldn't believe Biden on Mount Rushmore. I'm sure they'll build him a statue that the Arab Spring breakers will tear down on a hot summer night. But the Democrat patronage mill is in full swing. Obama was forced to endorse Kamala, so now his top strategist is being paid to run the Harris campaign. Bill and Hillary endorsed. Now their daughter, Chelsea, is angling to be the ambassador to Great Britain if Kamala wins. It's usually a gig reserved for major fundraisers or well-connected WASPs, not for Clinton nepotism. After talking about all this, I feel like I have to take a shower.
Did you hear what he said? It's reserved for connected WASPs. I wonder why he would use that terminology, referring to Great Britain's ambassador. I wonder. Because I don't know, does anybody know what a WASP is? I'll leave it to you in the chat to tell me what a WASP is.
Charlie Hertz, a Fox News contributor. Mount Rushmore. Charlie, Biden on Mount Rushmore. Can you believe it?
Yeah, even Leslie Stahl couldn't swallow that one. That was a whopper that was just a little bit too big. But you know, I think you have put your finger on something that I think is the most important thing about the moment right here. Everything you just said is exactly true about what Democrats did to get rid of Joe Biden. But the real thing that they did was they dried up the money. Because the Democrat Party, you know, you cannot like Donald Trump. I get people that don't like Donald Trump. But one thing you have to give Donald Trump credit for is he has broken the stranglehold that money has always had on politics in Washington. He beat Hillary Clinton.
That's absolutely correct. Duppy and Jim Bob, a white Anglo-Saxon Protestant. Which, Chelsea Clinton is not. Chelsea Clinton is a Roman Catholic. T for you. What's going on? And Zombie over on the YouTubes. Shepherding Shepherd. Yeah, murder wasps. There you go. What's up, Sleigh Bells? Thanks for being here. So, why Jesse Waters saying it's usually, that position is usually reserved for WASPs. He's absolutely correct. We all know and have seen the pictures of Chelsea Clinton wearing the upside down cross, which the representation of the upside down cross means that she prays to St. Peter, because St. Peter was crucified upside down. That's what that represents. Even though she's married to a Jew, she was baptized a Roman Catholic. And for her to step into the role of ambassador to Great Britain would be something.
Clinton after getting massively outspent by her in 2016. If you want to know who the big money party is, who is still in the grips of the big money donors today, it's the Democrat Party. And that's how Nancy Pelosi and Democrat leaders managed to get Joe Biden to quit. They dried up his money. And as soon as the big money bag...
Hold on. Remember we said this before Joe Biden stepped down. We said that they took $91 million. $91 million that a super PAC had in an escrow account that they were drawing off of, and that super PAC withdrew that money. We said that before he announced he was stepping down. Well, I said that. And then all of a sudden, after he stepped down, and Carmela got the nod and the wink, all of a sudden, she had $100 million. Hold on. Yeah, go figure.
Men in the Democrat Party said they closed their purses to him, then he had no choice. It dried up. That's why Joe Biden has not spoken to Nancy Pelosi again and probably will never speak to her again, although I do suspect that part of the whole deal will wind up with a massive payout to the Biden family.
Yeah, we'll wait to see what exactly that is. But you're so right. Trump's in touch with the people. He can fundraise off grassroots all day. Nancy knows Biden can't do it, knows Kamala can't do it, so they're just beholden to the highest bidder, and they always will be, and they just stop cutting checks. Here's more sound from Queen Pelosi. Listen.
You're both San Franciscans. What's your relationship like?
Our relationship is fine.
As somebody coming up in San Francisco politics and then more broadly California politics, did she ask you for mentorship? Did you give her advice?
The fact is, in that first race, I was for the incumbent. And I was for him because I respected him and his family. They're established, very progressive family in San Francisco, and they supported me. And if anybody knows anything about me, I'm loyal. She understood that.
Once that was over, once that primary was
that
over?
was, well, it's over, it's over.
No, but I'm saying once it was over, did she reach out to you for any advice or mentorship?
Well, that isn't, that we're in, we all have our own, I always say to people, be yourself.
So they hate each other.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know, and here's another thing that has not been sort of revealed. You mean to tell me that Nancy Pelosi and the bigwigs in the Democrat Party cashiered a sitting president and never had a conversation with Kamala Harris, who they immediately installed in his place for the election beforehand? Give me a break. I guarantee you, there's no way they did that without that conversation with Kamala Harris.
And Kamala knows she owes them everything. And I mean, everything. All right, we'll see what the payback looks like. Charlie Hurt, thanks as always.
Yeah, so I thought that was a pretty good synopsis of what happened. Pretty much, it is totally cringeworthy, Jake, totally, because we all said this. I mean, multiple people on Pilled alone said that this was a coup to get Joe Biden to drop out of the race. And we were all correct. Every hypothesis that any of us put forward was accurate. So we all know that Joe Biden was forced out and Kamala Harris was installed, just like they said. We said it from day one. Now the evidence is coming out to back that up. One person we haven't seen in the past week and a half is Jill Biden. Remember, before Joe dropped out, we would see Jill on Air Force One. We would see her, sitting at the desk in Air Force One in the Oval Office. We would see Jill right next to Joe everywhere he went. We haven't seen her in a while. Is she too busy counting $100 bills? Where is she? What is she doing? Where's Hunter Biden? The minute that they found out that Hunter Biden was going to be sentenced after the November election, after the inauguration, we haven't seen him either. It's like they just dropped away. And for Nancy Pelosi to say that she's loyal, the only person that she's loyal to is the people writing the checks. That's it. That's all there is. That's all the loyalty that she has. And this is cringe as shit. I don't care what anybody says. So, yeah, she may be planning her goodbye trips. Who knows? You can't pardon him if he hasn't been sentenced, Mo Phillips. You can't pardon a conviction. You can pardon a sentence. He hasn't been sentenced yet. A conviction can be overturned at any time. So you don't pardon convictions. You pardon sentences. I'm just reading some of the comments there. Yeah, loyal till, that's right. Goes with all the bags of money. Exactly. So, I thought that was a good little clip to show. Basically, the Democrats who conducted the coup are staying far away from, hey, six pack. Yeah. Are supposed to be staying far away from the press. Why Nancy Pelosi did what she did, I have no idea. It may be an old dementia thing, or it may be a nod to what else? Who else loves ice cream? You know, who else loves ice cream? Just saying. I don't trust these people as far as I can throw them. So, you guys make sure you hit that red pill for me there on the pill.net. To tell you the truth, I'm still surprised that I'm on YouTube and D Live. I like ice cream. That would end her career. Shepherding Shepherd. If Kamala pardoned Hunter Biden, they would impeach her immediately. Ohio Kimmy, thank you for the cookie. Chocolate lollipops. That's horrible. Man. Yeah, I truly believe that Kamala Harris first of all, I'm not even sure if she's going to be running for president in the next week. So I still got my doubts on that. I'm probably wrong, but who knows? But if she did, by some weird state of events, became president, and since she pardoned Hunter Biden for a gun crime, the entire world would explode. Or that could have been part of the deal for Joe to step down. We don't know. There's so many variables that we just can't predict anything. What's up, Info Lizard? How you doing? You know what, Duppy? At this point, I'm not even going to argue with you about Mike Obama anymore. I'm not even going to argue with you. Nah. I'm telling you what, Jake, she's going to need somebody. I'm pretty sure tomorrow she's going to announce Shapiro for a VP. But Oprah would be a better choice. All right. Let's go to this next clip I have is somebody who was on a podcast called The Breakfast Club with that guy who calls himself Charlemagne the God. I don't watch this podcast. There's a few things that does intrigue me though. And this guy talking right here was one of them. So we really have to listen to what he's saying because it's not far off from what the rest of us are saying.
The bottom line is when Joe Biden got elected, he said he wanted to fast track 4 million undocumented residents to full citizenship. Black people completely ignored it. I spoke on it. I said, do you know why he want to fast track 4 million? Because he know he's not going to do nothing for us. We ain't going to be motivated to vote for him November. So what he's going to do is have these migrants already set up with citizenship so they can replace the black vote that he loses. The migrants are being put in our communities on purpose, New York and Chicago on purpose, because they are what? The two blackest cities in America. They're the two largest cities in America. They're the two most politically conscious black communities in America. So if we can wash out the black with the brown in New York, if we can wash out the black with the brown in Chicago, Philly don't stand a chance.
Now he's just getting started. Because we ain't done yet. But just for what he said in the first 60 seconds is 100% accurate. Because you can do more damage to a country the way that they're doing it right now than if all of those military-age males picked up a gun and started fighting. Okay? Think about it.
Atlanta don't stand a chance. LA, Houston, Dallas, Detroit, Chicago don't stand a chance. The migrants are here for 3 reasons. Replace us at the polls, replace us at the low-end industry jobs, right? See, when Donald Trump said during the debate that Joe Biden is taking black jobs and giving them to migrants, he was correct. Although he didn't say it because he cared about us, but he's right. When people say, what do you mean by black jobs? Get out your bougie feelings and deal with the reality. 1/3 of black men have a felony. So there's a lot of jobs they will never qualify for. They are mostly what? Essential workers, warehouse, trucking, security. And a lot of those jobs are going to who? The migrants.
Didn't I say that? Right? I said the same thing when they brought up that subject about black jobs. This guy is hitting it right out of the park.
So that's what he meant by black jobs. We got to stop being so sensitive and look at the reality of it. I was reading a report the other day. They said the Latinos taking over the construction jobs. They taking them over. And the low industry work, like your gardening, your landscaping, completely taking it over. They're not the enemy. The problem is black people don't get as much opportunity. So then people say, well, you know, white people don't really like brown people like that. That's true. But you know what the difference is? They don't have the burden of accountability with them that they have with us. We built the country. So every time they look at us to deal with us, the bottom line is y'all brought them here and they built y'all into what y'all are. They don't have to say that to the Venezuelans. They don't have to say that to the Colombians. They don't have to say that to the Mexicans. So
What Jake says Kamala is paying him to say this. Why would she do that? Because remember the border bill, right? The border bill not only had money going to Israel and money going to Ukraine, which quadrupled the amount going to Customs and Border Patrol. It also had a blanket amnesty path to citizenship in that bill. So by him saying this is bringing to light exactly what they don't want you to know. Kamala should be paying him to keep his mouth shut. Not say it, but to keep his mouth shut.
although they don't like brown, they will much rather deal with them than the black, because with the black, there is a white man's burden that you owe them restitution for 246 years of unpaid labor. Now let's look at what Eric Adams is doing over there in New York. A family of four is getting $1,400 a month. $1,400 a month. Do you know that that's more than what some of the veterans are getting with a child? They're getting more money than veterans who served in the military. Damn. Not only that, they're getting free food stamps, free child care, and permanent housing.
And of course, before, I guess before 1620 and after 1866, you can't tell me that black people who were here in the New World didn't help build this country, because they did. There's no two ways about it. They did. I mean, that's just an historical fact.
Although New York City has a black homelessness rate no less than 35%. So you got black people who pay taxes living on the street, and you got migrants who ain't paid a single tax in their life eating and living better than the black people who built the country. If I was talking to Eric Adams and Brandon Johnson of Chicago, I would ask them something. What is the Democratic Party giving you guys that you're willing to sacrifice your political future to push this migrant agenda? Because I don't see how they get reelected by black folks. I don't see how. And if your city goes to the migrants, you can best believe the migrants ain't electing no black person to mayorship. So you're literally dying on your sword for the Democratic Party. Do you know that New York City has spent $1.5 billion on the migrant crisis so far? It's projected that this year, 2023 was $1.5 billion to take care of the migrants. $1.5 billion. 2024 and 2025, they said it will cost New York City $9 billion. Chicago has spent about $350 million this year on the migrant crisis, and that's expected to quadruple. And you know what was so disrespectful about Chicago with regard to Brandon Johnson? Remember all them schools they shut down in Chicago because they said they couldn't afford to operate them? Mm-hmm. They opened them up. Not only did they open them up, they renovated them. Turned them.
What he's saying is absolutely correct. In New York, Manhattan alone, they renovated 7 or 9 schools. I think it was like 9 schools that were shut down because they didn't have the funds. And what they did was they crammed everybody into these other schools, making the classroom sizes 60 kids. But when the migrant crisis came along, they took money that New York City didn't have, and they renovated schools that were closed down, not including all the schools within New York State that they did.
Into apartments for migrants, so you sleep upstairs, go to school downstairs. How is it that you ain't got money for jobs for black people, which is a big reason why you got so much crime? You got all these homeless black people in Chicago, but you can take care of the migrants before you take care of black people. And that's why I'm hoping that Black Chicago organizes, just like co-founder of the Black Panther Party, Bobby Seale did at the 1968 Democratic National Convention in Chicago. Bobby Seale turned up and turned it out with the Black Panthers. I hope Chicago doesn't let President Biden and Vice President Harris come there, because you know the Democratic National Convention is in Chicago,
right.
August 19th through August the 21st. I hope Black Chicago don't let the Democrats come to your city where they have bred this migrant crisis and y'all don't do nothing about it. And I'm going to tell you who else needs to stand up and show out. Milwaukee. Even though they don't have a migrant crisis like Chicago and New York, the Republican convention is in Milwaukee next Monday, this coming Monday. And guess what? Milwaukee, black people are the largest ethnic group. Unlike Chicago, it's white, Hispanic, black. Milwaukee is black, white, Hispanic. But guess what? Milwaukee has one of the worst black male graduation rates in America. So I'm hoping that black Wisconsin goes to that Republican National Convention and exercise their First Amendment rights to peacefully assemble and protest. But don't let them come to your city after causing all these problems and let them leave without them hearing from you. They are replacing us. America, if they can do it, they're going to purge black people with brown. Why do you think the New York regents, did you see that they said they're going to stop requiring the regents examination to get your high school diploma in New York? Is it that convenient? All of a sudden we get a migrant crisis in New York, and now you don't have to pass the regents no more. You know why? Because we got to make sure the migrants take all the jobs from black folks. They're already taking over the social services. They dominated the social services. If you black and hungry and need some food, too late. The migrants got it. Same thing in Chicago. You black and hungry, need some food, need a job, the migrants got it. I'm trying to understand how Eric Adams and Brandon Johnson can hand out all these work permits when you got all these unemployed black men. Half of black men in New York unemployed. Half of black men in Chicago unemployed. But you got migrants getting jobs. You're holding job fairs for migrants. You're giving out job passes for migrants. And you know, because of the election fraud, if you got a work permit, it ain't that hard to get a voting registration permit.
That's exactly correct. Because you have to get an identification card to get a work permit. And they have people lined up at the DMV to get ID cards, to get work permits. There's videos of it all over the internet. And once you get that ID, they automatically register you to vote, whether they want to or not. It's in California, it's in Chicago, it's in Atlanta, it's in Detroit, it's in New York, it's in Philadelphia, it's all over the place. So what seems more plausible? The migrants are here to pick up guns and attack the United States and shoot and kill everybody, or to come in and decentralize not just the black community, but everything else that goes with it. To register to vote, to take jobs, to take social services, to take everything else that comes with being a migrant. Now, what Woodar is looking at is through the black perspective. And he's not wrong about any of it. But also look, if Eric Adams of New York had $9 billion to refurbish all of this stuff and do all this stuff for migrants, why is there still one person homeless on the streets of New York City? Why is there still veterans out of work? Black, white, red, green, purple, doesn't matter. Yeah? So ask yourself those questions.
But I got a question for Eric Adams. Did y'all see he said that he was thinking about staffing the pools during the summer with migrants because they just women?
Right.
40% of black teens, 15 to 24, that age group, are unemployed in New York. Mayor Eric Adams, how you going to give the lifeguard jobs to the migrants when half your black kids ain't got no job? Don't you think you should start with the children of the black people who pay taxes? I really don't understand them too. I do kind of feel sorry for them. I
Maybe
don't
he
think
feel like black people can't swim. He's buying into that stereotype.
You see?
Put some money out there. We're going to swim. We'll learn. But my thing is, I know they know what they're doing isn't good for their political future. The only thing I can think of is they're too afraid to tell the Democratic National Machine that I'm not going to go along with this because, they can destroy them. I really...
Hip to the clip. The mayors of the city, they have budgets. Right? They have a budget. And they're the ones who approve where the money goes. Plus the money that they get from the federal government, they can use as at their own discretion. That's why California is in such shit straits right now, is because we were supposed to use billions of dollars to take care of the homeless problem, and we didn't. It just increased by 60%. So it's the governors and the mayors of these cities and the governors of the states who are appropriating these funds.
Think they're being forced to sacrifice their career in order to purge their own people from the two largest cities.
So everything that guy said, except for a couple of things with the reparations bullshit, like I said, unless you can prove to me that you were, pre-1865, I don't want to hear about reparations. But you can not only say what this guy was saying was true about the black community, you can also say that this is true about any community. Whether it be low-income black people, low-income white people, low-income Asian people, low-income Indian people, whatever. What this migrant crisis does, it affects the people who do the labor. And it's not only black people who do manual labor jobs. It's the entire gambit of the country that does. But what he's saying is they're forcing wages down by giving migrants work permits. When Donald Trump said them taking black jobs, I was one of the first ones to come out and say he's absolutely correct. Because that's exactly what they were doing. You have to look at what is going on and not jump to the most egregious thing you can think about. Because a military invasion of military age men from however many countries, although some people might get off on that shit, I don't know. What makes more sense? The way that it's actually happening? Or that they're going to go to every sporting goods store with their new ID and their new green card and buy a gun so they can cause chaos in the streets? What's the better way to take down the U.S.? Now, I look at things in a realistic view. I don't sugarcoat shit. There's no point to it. But when you find people like this guy that we just listened to talk about things that we all here have been talking about and can validate a lot of the stuff that we say, and you notice that the only thing that the guy did to interrupt that guy was make a joke about swimming because the Charlemagne guy is a shill for the Democrats. So he couldn't interrupt him because he knows that the guy is correct. So yes, you take the country down from within. Like I say, boys and girls, I call it like I see it. Balls and strikes right down the middle. If somebody's wrong, I'll call it out. If somebody's right, I'm going to call them out, no matter who they are. Hell, I agreed with Kevin McCarthy today. You can't get more messed up than that. So, because, Jake, they don't want us all to be Americans. If we had unity in this country, there would be no reason for politicians. Politicians have to create a reason to exist. And disarray and dysfunction is one of the biggest reasons. So like I said, I don't even know what time it is. This wasn't going to be a very overly long show tonight, but I think what we did show was pretty significant. If people start looking at what the amount of migrants that are coming into this country and start to look at it in a different perspective, as from a military invasion to a, what's a good word I'm looking for? A clandestine operation. A black ops operation. Because this is what the CIA does. It goes from within the country to create a coup. Just like we saw with Joe Biden. They did it from within. So, if we start looking for that and get off of the bombasticating of 25 million military-age migrants picking up slingshots and is going to kill everybody, and look at it for the reality that it is, maybe we'll be able to tackle it a little bit better. Maybe we'll be able to get more people to be convinced of what we're talking about than just pushing us aside, saying, oh, those are the crazy right-wingers. So, Foxy Lady, oops, thank you for the cookie. Anyway, so another reminder, I won't be here tomorrow morning, and I am shooting for tomorrow night. That's a Great Question podcast. So, with that being said, everybody over on the D Live, the X, and the YouTube, thank you for being here. I appreciate it. T, was good to see you, if you're still here. And of course, everybody over on my home base, pill.net, thank you so much for all the gold pills, red pills, blue pills. I am going to set a raid, and what I want you to do for me, please, it's very important. I want everybody to stay over on Spaz Oyeti's channel, Mandatory Metal Monday, long enough to give him a blue pill. So, hopefully, I'm going to send 56 of you over there, and you give them 56 blue pills. Okay? I'd really would like to see him get blasted over there. We love Spaz. I love Spaz. He's a great guy. So if you can do that for me, I'd appreciate it. And look out for my post tomorrow about tomorrow night's show. All right. Until then, love you guys. I'll see everybody hopefully tomorrow. Bye-bye.